Hello everyone, I'm Casper Kuma and welcome to Exorcise Me. Now let's get started. I just recently got a new computer and I was like, man, what should I test out my 4090 on? I'm like, ooh, we should play something graphically intense, and I'm sure this itch.io game is gonna push it to its limits. I'm just kidding. It looks very nice, but I don't know if it's gonna be a benchmark game. This game contains attractive men, women, a big church, and a forbidden romance in a janitor's closet. Ooh, it's got everything. Maybe this is a benchmark game. This game also contains light body horror, terrible priests, terrible surgeons, and gaslighting. Would you like to view the spoiler content warnings? I believe I don't know. We're fine. We got this. Heck no. Reader discretion is advised. Now, dear reader, let us begin our descent. Oh no, not descending again. I already descended once in Home Safety Hotline. Who are you? No, really, who are we as people? I really do hate this to get this philosophical, but it must be done. For without this knowledge, the story to come won't make much sense. Are we the labels forced onto us from birth? Are we our beliefs, hopes, experiences? It really is impossible to condense our entire being into one arbitrary idea. Hence why the self is an amalgamation of all those things. It is common belief that the self resides within the person's soul. But that's quite the laughable belief. Where even would the soul be? Our hearts? No, the self resides not in the soul or the heart, but rather in the pinkish-gray, wrinkly mass of tissue known as the brain. I like the sound effects. Yes, I know. It's an answer that doesn't fulfill the fantastical desires we hold. But it's true. For when something is deemed wrong with yourself, it isn't the heart that's tampered with, but rather the brain falls victim to that tampering. Clarence, what's with the long face? Now, the thing about the whole soul being in the brain thing, I took a class on like brain stuff and it's like, I don't know, your soul might be in your brain, but like, let's say you took your brain out and put it in a robot, but you're still kind of in control. Would you be the body that's left behind, or would you be the robot? You know, it's kind of weird. It's weird to think about. Anyway, Clarence, what's with the long face? You know why. Oh, can it now? This really isn't the way I'd like to spend my Sunday morning. Well, this isn't how I wanted to spend mine either. You should have thought about that before going off like you did. You bite your tongue, no amount of complaining will change her mind. Besides, it's not like you could just run out. It's not like you could just run out through that massive doorway you entered from. Although that wouldn't exactly remedy the problem that you have, if you could even call it that. Look, Clarence, this isn't just going to help you, it's going to help all of us. Was this some kind of conversion therapy thing? This seems strange. It'd be quite selfish of you not to go through with it. That selfishness doesn't matter now, though. It'll be gone once this demon is ripped out of you. This is a bad vibe. Guess I'd better get on with it. Wouldn't want to be selfish. Although, maybe I wouldn't be so apprehensive about this if they just told me what the heck the exorcising a demon entails. Pain, suffering, probably. You should probably chat with some of the guests here. Perhaps they could tell you a bit more about what's going on. You're practically an adult by now. There's no reason why they'd have to hide something so benevolent from you. You sound very sarcastic. I don't know if I believe you. Besides, this game told me there'd be gaslighting. Now, what is this feeble attempt at escaping? Do you really think that you can get out of this? I kinda thought I could. I don't know, you kinda said the big red doors or whatever. Are you sure I can't just... Can I force it? No. Okay, whatever. You always struggle to understand why people love putting candles on the floor, of all places. Picture this, you're wearing a beautiful, dazzling dress, so long that it trails behind you. As you walk down the hall, you're so enchanted by the stained glass of the church that you don't even realize what is happening with the screen. Are we entering the demon realm? Why is it getting darker? A candle has tipped over and it's slowly incinerating your dress, the flames crawling up that long tress until finally... Maybe this is why your entire family believes that the demon resides in you. I mean, it is a thought to have, though. I don't know. I wonder how many brides have been set aflame on their wedding. I feel like I did see one where, like, the wedding, like, the building caught on fire or something. Now that's a way to have a wedding. You're pretty sure that this woman is an aunt. Though that doesn't really narrow down the list of who this is. You've got too many aunts to keep count of. Aw, Clarence, look at how you've grown. Hello, aunt. The memory of her evades you. She had the courtesy to remember your name, and yet you couldn't return the favor. I'm Aunt Tia. You don't remember me? You were just a baby the last time I saw you. And I will reiterate that you've grown so much. Soon you're going to be snatching up all the women at college. I will say, though, you ought to do something about that hair. It's not very fitting for a strapping lad, now is it? Guess that I can't be too surprised that that's what she thinks. So, Aunt Tia, are you looking forward to the grand event? You internally cringe upon hearing yourself describe the event in such a manner. You already know that yes, she's indeed excited for this event. But maybe she heard from your mother about what's going to happen. Why, of course I'm so excited for this, Clarence. You haven't a clue how happy I am for you. This illness plaguing you will be gone, just like that. I beg your pardon? I'm suffering from an illness I don't know of? You hope to divinity that she says something along the lines of, well, you actually have this rare illness, and we're not actually here to do what you think. This virus is going to kill you, but don't worry, because with the power of medicine, we'll help you. And then it'll be like none of this ever happened. Hip hip hooray. But of course, the words that pop out of her mouth contradict this fantasy. Clarence, don't act like you don't know. The hair was already enough, Clarence. It's obvious to everyone. And what your mommy told me was the icing on the cake. So be the good lad you should have been and get on with this. Why do they care so much? It's not like it's gonna affect them in any way. I don't know. Let's keep the demon. Maybe they'll be friendly. Friendlier than this family, at least. You have no clue who this man is. The only words that come to your mind when attempting to describe him are manly, badass, and heroic. You're pretty sure that he isn't related to you. But I guess that's the thing about churches. Any random person can come and go as they please. The man appears to be holding a cup of coffee. But there appears to be no liquid inside. Oh, it's the manly badass hero. I had a feeling it was, but I couldn't remember what his, like, profile looked like. It's empty, like my soul. I mean, at least I'm pretty sure this is who that is. I don't follow him too closely, but I do know that he plays a lot of RPG Maker games. That's cool, though. It's one of your many uncles. He's the father of your little cousin, Samuel. He's like most husbands in Liberito City. He beats his wife, gets so drunk that he forgets his own name, sleeps with other people behind his wife's back, tried to get his son and wife lobotomized, and to top it all off, he goes to church each Sunday without fail. Not without dragging his wife and atheist son. He's pretty happy that you're finally doing what's right for the family. A bunch of hypocrites! Oh my god. Your relatives have a knack for bringing their pets everywhere they go. This includes more exotic pets, like a hawk. I thought that was a parrot. Strangely enough, though, this hawk is green. You've never seen a green hawk before. Are we sure it's not a parrot? It opens its beak to speak and caws and screeches. Love isn't something you just let go of, said the... Now, wait a damn minute. Who trained this hawk to talk? I'm not so sure this is a hawk. I've recently been watching videos of, like, ravens talking and stuff. They're really cool. They're, like, so much better at talking than parrots. It's kind of creepy how close they can get to actually sounding like a human. Like, it kind of just sounds like you're listening to, like, a recording or something. It's kind of weird. Something about this person is so familiar. Wait, could that be him? Hey, Ash. Who? Huh? It isn't him. Clarence, what did you say? Oh, it was nothing. The cousin rolls his eyes and gets back to standing. standing with the apathy plastered all over his face, the slight tinge of annoyance visible. You decide to leave him alone. It would make things awkward if he stayed too long. Why do these people care about whether the demons are getting expelled from my body? They don't even seem to, like, be on friendly terms with me. I don't know. Seems like one of your relatives brought a little cat with a dapper top hat. That's wonderful. Its tail is moving like the pendulum of clock. That's weird. Oh, I guess it's normal. Cats be cats. This looks demonic, but whatever. Ah, it's your little cousin Samuel. You haven't seen him in quite some time, even though the two of you were glued to the hip a few years ago. I wonder what he's going to think about you needing this exorcism. You brace yourself for disappointment. How can my older cousin, who I looked up to, be something so scandalous? Then you're pretty sure that it'll be followed by a, but he's doing the right thing by getting that demon exorcised. Ah, Clarence, long time no see. How have you been? I've certainly seen better days, Sam. What about you? You're in high school now, right? High school's okay. I guess you could say that. I've also seen better days. The silence hangs in the air for a good while as the two of you stew in misery. I guess that isn't going so well for either of us, huh? Clarence, I know that this entire family reunion thing is about you, or something, so I'm sorry if it sounds selfish for me to ask you something. Samuel, don't be sorry. It's not your fault that Mother dragged us all here to get the demon out of me. Okay, just hard. Sorry, I had to check something. I really don't want to be here for whatever they do to me. I'd rather help you, if I'm being honest. Promise me you won't tell my mom? You nod your head in affirmation. There's this classmate, a friend actually. Because of how many classes we have in common, we began to speak to each other, and we've been speaking more now. And at first I felt like it was all normal, you know, just two people hanging out with each other, nothing more. And there's a but to this story, isn't there? Do you know what it's like to look at someone and feel this pounding in your chest? Like your heart's gonna run into their arms if you don't stop looking at them. But then you can't stop, because that person is your future. They're who you see spending a good chunk of your life with. And then you just want to know them as something so much more than a friend. Personally, I believe that you should ask her out. You're going to regret it if you don't take that chance with her now. But Clarence, they're not... Samuel's lips hover by your ear and he begins to whisper. Clarence, he's a boy. He's as much as a boy as either of us, and these feelings, shouldn't I be having them for a girl? You pause, attempting to think through what to do. Sam, let's go somewhere a bit more private. And then we can both jump out the window and run away. You make sure that no one else is too close. You won't want anyone to eavesdrop on this. At least Samuel ended up in the same position as you. Samuel begins to elaborate in a blubbering tone. Clarence, what's wrong with me? I'm not supposed to feel this way towards my best mate. Samuel, there's nothing wrong with... Whoa, what the hell just happened? I thought we slapped him or something because the screen shook and we made a weird noise. There's everything wrong with it. What's my mother gonna say? What's my mate gonna say if he finds out? Although you know the truth about what would happen, you decide that clarifying that wouldn't be the most comforting. Clarence, you and Asher are best mates, right? I need you to tell me how I should be feeling towards my mate. Look, I can't exactly do that. I can't change the way you view your friend by telling them how I view Asher. But why? Maybe if you tell me, I could sort of force my mind back to normal? I don't know. But I'm desperate for any solution. I can't tell you about that because Asher and I, you can't bring yourself to say it, even if you know that it could comfort Samuel. Asher and I, best mates. There's no way in hell that she said that. That's exactly what she said. You go with that lad one more time and you'll never see the light of day again. And yet here you are. With that lad she speaks of. Quite the rebellious streak you've got going, Clarence. Asher, you're quite the bad influence on me. Ah, am I so bad? I mean, all that I did was take you out without your parents' knowledge, and let's not even talk about how I got you to kiss me. Alright, hearing that is pretty damn bad, but at least we haven't done anything scandalous yet. I think you're ignoring the fact that if anyone so much as saw us, that would result in the next big controversy in the paper. Okay, you got me. I didn't quite think that through. Generally speaking, Asher wouldn't behave in this somewhat immature manner. He'd always hold a calm, composed demeanor fitting for a future detective. You know that he's reserved this playful persona just for you. You know, I was kind of thinking he looked familiar. He kind of looks like the Persona 5 protagonist. Just give him a pair of glasses or something and throw on like that black blazer and you got him. And his energy is contagious. You begin to stifle some laughter as you move closer to him. Looking at him is like staring at a vignette, frozen in time with nothing in focus except for him. It's almost as if every single pesky problem of yours melted away in that very moment. I really, really want to kiss you now. Then why don't you? It's not like it'll get as hectic as the last time. The last time. The last time the two of you got this close was in the janitor's closet at school. How romantic. Privacy for the two of you is the ultimate luxury. You're hidden away from the critical eyes of the masses. Of course, it was just your luck that the janitor needed to retrieve a mop from the closet. And you had a very pleasant time explaining to the janitor how you had no idea how you ended up in the closet with your best mate. Clarence? Clarence, what is it? You know why we can't do that here. I can't do it. Asher tries to lighten the mood. Blah, blah, blah. Asher tries to lighten the mood a bit. Well, you've already broken half of your mom's rules just by being with me. Why not go the extra mile? You know me, I'm nowhere near as brave as you. I wouldn't exactly call myself brave. I don't blame you, Clarence, and I want you to know that I get it. You know how my old man is all gung-ho about masculinity and all that. I think your mom would be even worse than my father about that kind of thing. It's just that keeping us a secret, even when our families aren't around, it's so exhausting. You're struggling too, aren't you? What makes you say that? You're struggling to not kiss me. Alright, you got me there. How about this? We find somewhere we can be us without having to worry about our families. Oh, are you telling me that the inside of the janitor's closet doesn't count? It's almost a perfect place for hopeless romantics just hopeless romantics just like this. Or I don't know what I'm doing. I'm adding words that aren't there. It's almost a perfect place for hopeless romantics like us. For some reason I read that as homeless romantics, but I was like, no. The only problem would be how quickly the janitor found us. Just be glad that the janitor didn't tell anyone. Of course I am. I wouldn't want to be married off because someone tattled on us. Now, wouldn't that be a terrible way for this to end? As you think about Asher, you begin to realize that you never got the chance to tell him about this little ordeal you're in. Maybe it's better that he doesn't know. He'll probably blame himself for this. Where is he? Someone saw the two of us together, and they clearly saw through our platonic act. Of course, being physically close to someone isn't the best way to act platonic. Even if it is a little hard to understand why holding hands is always viewed as romantic. You continue to ruminate in your thoughts, forgetting that Samuel is there. Clarence, is everything all right with you? Oh, yes. About your feelings and all. I think your words are interrupted by someone's arrival. I mean, if guys want to be physically close, can't they all do that weird thing where they, like, slap each other on the butt? And that's, like, the sports thing they do, like, you know, in locker rooms or whatever, right? I don't know. That's a good way to hide it, I guess, maybe? You can't hold hands, but you can smack each other's asses. I don't understand. Her face holds a level of smugness that pisses you the hell off. Clarence, I think that I'm just gonna go now. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, take me with you. And with that said, Samuel disappears through the massive church doors. Poor thing already has to deal with his mother fighting against his drunk father. Wouldn't want him to listen to your interactions with this bitch. Oh god, that does look like a bitch. What's her problem? Well now, what are you doing here? The words slide right off her tongue, almost like she genuinely hasn't the faintest clue as to why you're here. Hello, Adalia. You don't have anything else to say to me? You spoke so much with that cousin. What, do you have more in common with him than me? It's of no concern to you. You haven't the faintest clue as to why the hell Adalia Hollows is here. To your knowledge, you aren't related to her in any way. Isn't like that matters, though. Family or not, she's always been rather insufferable. Clearly, she's here to throw salt into your wounds. How's Asher doing? Like you'd actually care. If you're so interested in Asher, why are you asking me? The two of you are so damn close. I figured that you'd know every little thing about him. For someone so head over heels for him, you don't seem to want to speak to him. Do I really have a choice? You practically hoard whatever time he isn't spending on work. It isn't like I wanted to be a nuisance to my beloved. That would make for a terrible impression. You feel the bile clawing its way up the back of your throat. Adalia Hollows wishes for the whole damn world to know that she's betrothed to Asher Cypress. The idea makes you cringe. She's become Adalia Cypress. If you wanted to speak to her, she's probably insists you call her Mrs. Cypress. Mrs. Cypress this, Mrs. Cypress that, goddamn Mrs. Cypress. At this point, it's like she's dangling Asher's love over you. You can't even say anything about it. Adalia would almost certainly humiliate you if you did. But what are you meant to do? Grin and bear it? How did Asher get betrothed to this woman? What era are we in? Do people still do betrothals? I mean, I guess in some countries they do. I don't know. Weird. Alright, you've been doing that your whole life. Surely you'll be able to do it this one time. What's the matter, Clarence? Cat got your tongue? Let's kill her. Just shank her right now. Push her into those candles on the floor and set her aflame. Or could it be? Adalia, for once in her goddamn forsaken life, hushes her voice. Maybe, just maybe, she doesn't want to humiliate you? After all, it's a habit of hers to broadcast her words to all those in the vicinity. And now would be the perfect time to do that. A spacious church would disperse her message to all in the building. She leans in closely. Could it be that you're just jealous? Jealous? What do you mean, jealous? Dread creeps up your spine. Does she know? You hope to divinity that she doesn't. Not that divinity will listen to you anyways. If divinity hates people like you so much, there isn't any reason as to why they would heed your pleas. By the way, Mother Charity wants to see you right now. And don't look at me like that. You know all of this is your own doing. Adalia mutters something under her breath, and she exchanges a final glare with you. Something tells you that you don't want to know what she said. In your mind, you quickly piece together why she's been much smugger than usual. What the hell is her deal? She's already betrothed to Asher. She already has him all to herself. If she really wanted him that badly, she could have just said the word and they'd be married. Sometimes you don't understand the ways in which people view love. You'd like to believe that you're not like Adalia, completely obsessed with Asher, but now that you think about it, perhaps it seemed that way to others. Divinity forbid two young men hold hands or tease each other. Alas, you probably should heed Adalia's words and see Mother Charity. Or we could just leave. Who cares about these people? We should just go. Run away. Right now. I don't know. I thought Asher was gonna be the demon that resides within us, but it seems like he's got a physical body that other people can see, so I guess he must be semi-normal. He doesn't seem completely normal. I don't know. I feel like in this picture he had red eyes, but maybe not. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention, but his being seems suspicious. I don't know if he's entirely human. Mother Charity begins to speak with you. Unholy one, divinity requires a task from you. For the ritual to commence, you must light all the candles. What? Mother Charity bestows upon you a holy lighter. Wow, got a lighter. Halt your movement for a moment. Oh, God. Divinity's love is inevitable. And if you think you can escape it, you're sorely mistaken. You can't help but wonder what benevolent deity's love would be inevitable. Something about their love cleansing you regardless of your desire rubs you the wrong way. Run along now and go off and light the candles. Let's light this place aflame. She gave us fire. We could totally light this place up. And we can have a holy fire and roast some holy marshmallows. Glued to Mother's face is a frown. She's probably thinking about how much of an inconvenience it is that you're even here. Go on, Clarence. Go on with your day so we can get this over with. You know, we can get out of here real quick if we just don't do it at all. If you just let me be, you weirdos. Nobody wants to be here. Press enter when the pointer is in the red to light the candle. I knew we'd be having gameplay. Boom. It's like Dead by Daylight. You wonder why you of all people must light the candles. Wouldn't it have been so much easier if the candles were already lit? Someone took the time to arrange the candles. Couldn't they have also lit them? Yeah, that's true. I was wondering that too. Seems like a weird punishment, but whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, we can light this place up. I don't know. I think that's the right thing to do. We'd be burning a lot of demons if we lit this place aflame right now. And boom. I know it would ruin the ambiance, but what if they all... What if churches got, like, smart candles? You know, the fake ones, and just, like, clap them on, clap them off? Maybe the ritual's participant is supposed to light the candles as a way of submission to divinity. After all, now Mother Charity can say that you were compliant with the ritual, seeing as how you helped set it up. Not if we light it up. Light up the whole damn building. That's what I think we should do. I don't know why I'm doing this. I should really just not. Oh, I guess we could save. But, like, thinking about it, I think it's an RPG Maker game. It probably has multiple endings. If we didn't light them, like, let's just see what happens if we fail. Try that again. Okay. Okay, we have to do it. Alright, fine. I was just thinking we could just, like, not do it, and then we could just leave. But whatever. Whatever. You think about how Mother Charity said that divinity holds unconditional love for all humans. Of course, the unconditional part has always been up for debate. I always thought it was a little weird how some people name their kids like Charity, Hope, Faith. I don't know. It seems a little strange. Sorry to all of you who are named that. I don't know. It just seems weird, like, to be named after virtues. But I guess all names are kind of weird. I don't know. I should stop thinking. Apparently, in order to be worthy of divinity's love, you must follow all the rules laid out in the little book. So much for unconditional love. That is true. That seems a little backwards. Boop. Boop. There's so many rules in that little book about who you're allowed to love and who you aren't. If you were to use that book to help find the lover, it would be almost impossible to do so. The more you think about it, the more you think that little book just wants to make you love divinity romantically. Mother Charity has never had a lover. She always finds something in people that's not up to code with what the book says. But she sure as hell loves divinity. Everything is in divinity's will, she'd always say. You're pretty sure that all of her behavior aligns perfectly with what that book says would be the ideal human, which includes bending yourself and other people backwards for deity you can't prove the existence of. At this rate, you're gonna snap in half for divinity. But, alright, burn me alive, I guess. That should be all the candles. Guess that I should speak to Mother Charity again to start the ritual. Or we could make a break for it. I'm just saying. You've completed the task. Yes, all the candles have been lit. Come now, let's commence the ritual. Are you ready to start the ritual? You won't be able to go back once you start. Well, hold on then. Know this, unholy one, divinity's love is inevitable. You will be cleansed, whether your devilish tendencies comply with it or not. Seems like a threat, but whatever. If they're saying that we can have time to look around, then we should do that. Just in case. Just in case if we missed like a gun hiding in the corner of the room that we can use to shoot Mother Charity. Just saying. I don't know. We might want to escape. Can I take the cat with me? With the dapper hat? Adorable. Can't I just take you? Be you and me, kitty. Fine, let's get cleansed, I guess. Whatever. Do it! Do it, you bitch! Let's go. Let's get on with it. It seems like that you've already taken on divinity's love. It isn't exactly like you have much of a say in the matter. Before the ritual, drink this. Mother Charity hands you a vial of clear liquid. For some reason, the appearance reminds you of disgustingly bitter medicine. What is this? I should have known that you would resist. I just wish to know if this liquid is... You struggle to conjure up the words to appease her and obtain an answer. It is divinity's will for you to drink that, but what if I'm allergic? Does it have nuts in it? I don't have a nut allergy, but I just want to know. They told me so. In order for the ritual to work, this vial must be consumed by you. But... Did she just hiss at me? What the hell? It is in Mother Charity's will for you to shut the fuck up and drink. Oh, alright. To put it nicely, the drink tastes like a teenager's horrible attempt at creating lean. What is lean? Like alcohol? The chemicals burn your taste buds. It was divinity's will to shove questionable chemicals into your system. In spite of your revulsion, Mother Charity seems quite pleased. Come now, a cleansed spirit awaits you. Wonderful. You stand in the center of the 6 candles. After everything, you still haven't a clue as to what Mother Charity is going to do to you. You hope that she simply chants a few prayers and calls it a day. It is how she solves every other problem that falls upon people, after all. Children of divinity. For a split second, you're taken back to the Sunday masses of your youth. Mother Charity always spoke in a thunderous voice like that. We are here for a momentous occasion, children. We are here to help enlighten this confused child. Your face begins to feel hot with mortification. It's already been drilled into your head that this isn't really you. This is just you who doesn't know what the hell you're doing. There's absolutely no need to further humiliate you. Unless the humiliation is meant to exorcise the demon out of you. This young one has rebelled against divinity's will. Therefore, we can only come to one conclusion. A demon runs rampant in his soul. It holds his soul with the foul claws of evil. Gasp! But fear not, children, for he has not been so consumed by evil that the damage is irreversible. Today he will learn of the true extent of divinity's love. And that love will exorcise the demon out of him. Now, children, pray for him. Pray that we tear the demon out of him, and pray that a good soul remains. The people hold their hands in devout prayer. It's almost like they're in a drug-induced trance. In other situations, this would be almost beautiful, a congregate of people peacefully banding together in support of a loved one. Of course, though, you struggle to see the beauty in it. Maybe, just maybe, you'll see the ritual in it after the completion of the ritual. I mean, who are you to think that you know what's best for you, right? If it weren't for your responsible decisions, you wouldn't even be here in the first place, right? And even then you would have ended up here. What kind of fantasy did you reside in? Where did you think you and Asher would go to be free? The people finished praying and turned their burning gaze towards you. This is it. You're going to be everything that people want out of you. You'll love who you're meant to love. You'll be free, right? Free of all the constraints placed upon you just for something so trivial as romance. In these moments, however, you wonder if it really is your fault. The constraints placed upon you, were they really your fault? Maybe if yourself weren't so tainted, you wouldn't even be chained to these restrictions. Your vision goes dark. The body is limp. The numbness, it hurts, strangely enough. It's so cold that it almost burns. Wait, this isn't right. Huh? Vision slowly returns. What? Your eyes feel both numb and like something is squeezing them. Wasn't there supposed to be some kind of ritual? When did they say anything about... Wait. His eyes are glued shut. Nothing that the surgeons do to him invoke a reaction. Almost as if he's sedated. And then it hits you. That's your body. What? Where are you? How are you not in your body? They took our brain out! Oh my god! They took our soul out! This doesn't make any damn sense. Mother Charity always said that surgery was against divinity's will. So then, what is this? Before you can elaborate on your thoughts, something sharp probes at your... Ow! Oh. What would happen if that flashy mass in the head were to be tampered with? That's... Oh, that's awful. No. What if the scalpels tore it apart in such a way that it didn't render your body useless? Something snapped away from him in that very moment. Something very important. Once it's gone, it'll never return. If some part of it remains, it'll never be the same. Clarence Amato graduated from law school with flying colors. His professors praised how focused he was. It was almost as if he had no life outside of classes. He was perfect in their eyes, and he was perfect in the eyes of his family. Thank divinity that you're blessed with a wonderful child, people would always say to his mother. Some would also say, goodness, the treatment worked wonders on him. Clarence hadn't a clue as what they were talking about. Of course he didn't ask what they meant by that, and he wasn't supposed to question it. Did they give me like a lobotomy or something? Because one uncle said something about wanting to lobotomize his wife and his kid. So, and like the beginning of the game talks about taking like brains and such. Did they put something else in this kid's body? But he was content with being perfect. Absolutely positively perfect. Exactly as a young man like him should be, right? Obviously, Clarence had to enter the workforce. What kind of man would he be if he didn't? So he joined the 13th precinct of Libretto City. Libretto? I don't know. The precinct was always looking for new talent, due to how understaffed they were. Clarence didn't care much for detective work. True, he was detached enough from his surroundings to be able to stomach the violence involved in the field, but that same detachment was exactly why Clarence truly didn't give a shit. He was just there for a paycheck. When Clarence entered the office, there were a couple of detectives, all chatting with each other while sipping scalding coffee. One of them glanced at Clarence. This detective had deep brown hair, ivory skin, and emerald green eyes. Clarence felt an odd sense of familiarity, even though he had never seen this person before. The detective took a quick glance at Clarence, and it seemed like that would be it. Oh, I guess he had purplish eyes, but it just said he had green eyes. I don't know. But then he looked at Clarence again, and this time with a surprised look. What is he doing with his arm? That is just the most bizarre angle for your arm to be in. That looks very painful, and like he possibly broke it. Clarence could have sworn that this young man was going to spit out his coffee with that look on his face. The young detective nearly spilled his coffee while getting up from his seat, as his coworkers looked at him with absolute bewilderment. Thankfully, he didn't make an absolute mess. I guess they are green, and purple. I was right. They are purple, but they are also green. Clarence, is that really you? I haven't seen you in so long. I thought something happened to you. Do I know you? The stranger gawked at Clarence with confusion and disappointment. Clarence? Clarence had absolutely no clue how this man knew his name. They totally removed my brain. Oh my god. Neither of the men wore name tags, and this was Clarence's first day in the office. The stranger held his head low, like a child who has been scolded by his parents. Clarence's eyes were caught by the contents of the stranger's desk. A photo of the stranger, a strawberry blonde woman, was held in a wooden frame. It appeared to be a wedding photo. He got married to that bitch? Oh my god. Oh, he doesn't look happy about it, though. Ugh. The stranger's face looked absolutely miserable in the photo. A slight frown was glued to his face. However, Clarence couldn't tell for certain if the marriage was arranged or not. The stranger looked so miserable that he must have been forced into the marriage. It was the very first time Clarence has ever seen a man unsatisfied with what might be an arranged marriage. I like how he's so miserable, but yet he framed it and put it on his desk. Like, you don't have to. You could have taken a picture of that cat in the top hat. But the woman's pose and countenance conveyed a completely different story. How could a man not be happy with a wife like that, Clarence thought. Shouldn't you still remember her? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they just gave him a completely different brain. Clarence eventually found out that this stranger was named Asher Cypress. He was, supposedly, the top detective in the precinct, having cracked the most high-profile cases in Libretto City. Libretto. I feel like it's probably libretto. I don't know why I keep reading that like that. Clarence had never heard of it. Clarence had heard the name before in the morning paper. He expected Asher Cypress to be a cold, stoic figure. How else could one manage the gore seen on the job? Clarence sure as hell didn't think this chatty young man was the Asher Cypress. Whenever Clarence so much as walked outside of a room, Asher would drop whatever he was doing and begin to chat with Clarence. Asher would ask stupid things like, "Did I do something, Clarence?" Clarence figured that it would be self-explanatory as to why he gave Asher the cold shoulder. Clarence had no idea what the hell was Asher's deal. Asher acted like he and Clarence were close friends, even though they've never seen each other. And in the back of Clarence's mind, he couldn't help but feel that Asher viewed them as something much more. Where were you? Where were you when all this was happening? Where were you? You should have saved me from the church, buddy. Much more than friends, let alone acquaintances. And torn self. Wait, we had options? Oh my god. We didn't have to do this? We're getting back in there, because we gotta get out of here. Oh, oops. Don't look. We gotta get out of here. I tried to give us options, but that didn't seem right. Yeah. Who is this person? They're shown to us, and then they're never shown again. Is it just a random person? Just for this little demo thing that they're showing us with the brain? I guess it kind of looks like the mom. But the mom's got bangs. Well, whatever. We gotta get out of here. There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way. Come on, let us out. Can I just, like, force us? No? I feel like if you do this enough times, you should be able to get out of here. But gotta be something we can do. Alright, so I did some digging, and I found on the the webpage for the game that it does say there's only a single inescapable ending, it says. And I don't know, I don't like that. There needs to be like a couple more, I think. I don't know, like, it's just so freaking depressing, this ending. And I don't know, maybe that's what they were going for, but well, it's like, it's not only depressing, but it's also really suspicious, right? Because they, like, I don't know, they did weird things. Like, they definitely messed with this guy's head in some way. And I feel like this could go in a really weird other direction, where it leans more into, like a weird horror thing, rather than just, I don't know what happened. But I'm pretty sure they, like, lobotomized us somehow, or like, you know, messed around in our brain somehow. But I don't know, it just seems a little weird. Like, it'd be really hard to do that, like to mess with the brain enough to like only, I don't know, I guess to change the whole personality. So I guess that can happen. I mean, it's happened before. Like, if you've heard of that Phineas Cage guy that got the iron rod stabbed through his head and like took out a good chunk of his brain or something, and his personality flipped from being like a really nice guy that's like responsible and stuff, and he changed in someone that was like really easily angered, and he never showed up for things in time. He always forgetting stuff. So I guess it could change like that. But the thing is, like, the only thing that changed about this guy when he went through that surgery is he like forgot about Asher. He forgot about a lot of people, because he forgot about that girl too. But he also, I mean, it didn't say he wasn't gay anymore. It just implied that he had, I feel like he had no emotions whatsoever. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. I wish there was other endings. I wish we could leave. Like, I feel like we should be able to leave because of the whole thing in the beginning where it's like, yeah, you could just go out those big doors you came through. Like, I want an ending where we run away. I don't know. I'm unsatisfied with how Asher did nothing to help us. Like, if they love each other, he should have been there to like freaking bust through the doors and rescue us, you know? I don't know. It feels really weird. It feels really lonely, I guess. It just seems strange. I wish there were more endings though, because it's an interesting game, and I think I don't know. I want Clarence to be happy. That's all, I guess. So let me know what you think of the game down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. This is Casper Kuma, over and out.